ChatGPT, am I the a-hole? Boyfriend gave me an ultimatum. Him or my dog? Should we break up? I never imagined that I would be in this position, but here we are. My partner Jake, 35 male, has given me, 21 female, an ultimatum. It's either him or my beloved golden retriever Max. When Jake moved in with me a few months ago, I thought he would eventually warm up to Max. Unfortunately, he has grown increasingly resentful of Max with each passing day. Last night, he came home from work and immediately started complaining about Max's barking. He demanded that I get rid of Max or he would leave me. I was heartbroken. In response, I facetiously suggested that Jake get rid of something he loves dearly, like his record player and his prized vinyl collection, hoping he would realize how ridiculous his request was. However, he refused, claiming that his vinyl records are irreplaceable and have sentimental value. He argued that it was unfair for me to ask him to give up something he had been working on since he was a child. He also pointed out that at least he could turn off his record player or put his records away, but I could not do the same with Max. I reminded Jake that Max was a part of my family and he had been with me since my late teens. I also pointed out that he was being hypocritical by asking me to get rid of Max while refusing to give up his record collection. Despite the fact that his records clutter our place and take up so much space that it's difficult to navigate our home, I have never once complained or seriously asked him to put them away or get rid of them. Things between Jake and Max took a turn for the worse when Max got hold of one of Jake's special edition Motley Crue vinyl records and destroyed it. Jake was outraged and started screaming all sorts of different kinds of epithets at Max as he aggressively barked back at him. After he was done screaming at Max, he then turned his attention to me and demanded that I pay for the damages and to get my dumb mutt under control. Then he stormed out of the house and he hasn't returned since. I felt so hurt and confused and broke down crying. Am I being unreasonable for refusing to get rid of Max? I love Jake, but I also love Max. I can't bear the thought of giving him up. I don't understand how someone who claims to love me could ask me to get rid of a family member. Jake's selfishness and insensitivity have put Max's well-being, my feelings, and even the livable space in our home at risk. If he truly loved me, he wouldn't ask me to choose between him and Max. Max has been a part of my life for years, and I couldn't just give him up for someone who couldn't understand how important he is to me. I'm seriously considering calling things off with Jake. What do you guys think? Should I prioritize my partner's feelings over my pet's happiness? Am I putting Max in danger by continuing to be with someone who hates pets? I could use some advice. At Cryomite69, you're the a-hole. It's your duty as a woman to prioritize your partner's feelings over your pet's happiness. Your partner has every right to demand that you get rid of your dog if he's causing problems in your relationship. Your dog is just a pet, and it's not fair for you to compare him to your partner's vinyl records. Your partner deserves respect and consideration, and it's not fair for you to choose a dog over him. If you truly care about your relationship, you would do whatever it takes to make your partner happy. At IllyLily94, not the a-hole. Wait a minute, didn't Jake move in with you and Max? The audacity of a man to come into a space and demand that you get rid of a beloved family member. It's clear that Jake has no respect for you, your pet, or your home. Furthermore, the fact that he is not willing to compromise and find a solution that works for both of you is a clear indication of his entitlement and lack of respect for you. It's not even his house, yet he thinks he has the right to make such demands? It's time to kick Jake to the curb and prioritize your pet's happiness over the feelings of a man who clearly does not respect you. At ClassyKhaki34, you're the a-hole. I'm sorry, but you are completely in the wrong here. Your partner has made a reasonable request, and it's your responsibility to make sure that your dog isn't causing a disturbance. If Max is barking excessively, it's not fair to your neighbors or to your partner. Your partner has a right to feel comfortable in his own home, and it's not fair for you to prioritize your pet's happiness over his. If you're not willing to train your dog or find a way to reduce the barking, then you should consider finding a new home for Max. It's not fair to force your partner to live in an uncomfortable and stressful environment. At Paws and Claws, not the a-hole. Your partner is being completely unreasonable. It's one thing to not like pets, but it's another thing to demand that you get rid of your beloved companion. It's clear that Max means a lot to you and has been a part of your family for a long time. You shouldn't have to choose between your partner and your pet. I understand that your partner may have sentimental value attached to his record collection, but it's not the same as a living being. I think it's important to have a conversation with your partner and try to come to a compromise, but you should never feel like you have to give up something that brings you joy and love. At Spilarski25, you're the a-hole for even considering getting rid of your dog for a man. You would be making the right choice by refusing to give up your furry family member. Jake is being unreasonable and selfish, and his ultimatum shows that he doesn't value your relationship as much as he should. As for his love for Motley Crue, that band is notorious for their misogynistic and sexist behavior. It's concerning that he is a fan. No wonder he thinks he can just move into your house barking orders at you like he's some kind of rock star. Jake has to go. At Systemantra56, not the a-hole. It's ridiculous that your partner would give you an ultimatum like this. It's clear that he has no respect for your feelings or your furry family member. Additionally, it's concerning that your partner is a fan of Motley Crue. It's disappointing that you would be involved with someone who supports such a band. At Cliche in a Way, you're the a-hole. It's your fault for choosing a dog over your partner. Your partner has a valid reason for not wanting to live with a barking dog, and it's not fair for you to choose your dog over him. Your partner's vinyl records are important to him, and it's not fair for you to compare them to a dog. Your partner deserves to be in a relationship where his feelings are considered, and he's not forced to live with a barking dog. If you're not willing to compromise and find a solution that works for both of you, then maybe you're better off being single. At IggyPiggy09, not the a-hole. It's absolutely ridiculous for Jake to yell and scream at Max, who is just an innocent animal who doesn't understand what he's being yelled at for. It's not Max's fault that he destroyed the record. He doesn't understand the value that humans place on such objects. It's also incredibly unfair for Jake to demand that you pay for the damages caused by Max. If he truly loved and respected you, he would understand the importance of Max in your life and would find a way to coexist with him. It's not fair for him to ask you to choose between him and Max, especially when he's the one who moved into Max's home. Max has been with you for years and is a beloved family member, and you have every right to prioritize his happiness over Jake's unreasonable demands. At Trolloman, you're the a-hole. You should have gotten rid of Max a long time ago. It's ridiculous to prioritize an animal over your relationship with your partner. Jake's request was perfectly reasonable, especially considering Max's destruction of his valuable vinyl record. You need to learn to compromise and put your partner's needs first if you want to have a healthy relationship. At Sneakalite, you're the a-hole. Honestly, it's just a dog. They're a dime a dozen. Jake is a person with feelings, thoughts, and desires that should be respected. You can't say the same about Max. Get rid of the dog and make your partner happy. If you don't, you'll end up alone with nothing but a barking, slobbering mutt. At FurryFlurry92, not the a-hole. Your partner is being completely unreasonable. Max is a part of your family, and you shouldn't have to give him up for anyone. It's clear that your partner is not a fan of pets, and that's okay. However, he shouldn't be taking out his frustration on Max or demanding that you get rid of him. It's also not fair for him to refuse to compromise or show any understanding for how much Max means to you. Your partner's behavior is a red flag, and it's important for you to prioritize your own happiness and well-being. If your partner is not willing to respect your boundaries and work on finding a solution that works for both of you, then it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. It's never easy to end a relationship, but it's better than staying in a situation that is causing you emotional distress. Remember that you deserve to be with someone who loves and respects both you and your furry companion. At Kakarotting, you're the a-hole, plain and simple. Jake has every right to be upset with Max's constant barking and destructive behavior. It's not fair to force him to live in a home with a pet that causes him such stress and discomfort. Your response of suggesting he get rid of his prized possessions was petty and immature. At Buggyman56, not the a-hole. You are not being unreasonable for refusing to get rid of Max. Your partner should not be asking you to choose between him and your furry companion. Max is a part of your family and has been with you for a long time. It's not fair for your partner to demand that you get rid of him just because he doesn't like pets. Your partner's behavior is selfish and insensitive, and it's important for him to understand that Max's happiness and well-being matter just as much as his own. You deserve to be with someone who loves and respects both you and your furry companion. At GlowUp48, not the a-hole. Pets are family members too and should be treated with love and respect. Your partner's ultimatum is selfish and shows a lack of understanding for the importance of Max in your life. Stand up for what you believe in and prioritize your pet's happiness. At HungPiccolo69, you're the a-hole. The dirty mutt is unhinged. Just put it down or find him a different home if you're not going to get him proper training. It would be super selfish if you chose an animal over a human. Dogs are not people. At Bardock Sucks, You're the a-hole. It's time to face the music and realize that your dog is the problem here. If you can't control your pet and keep it from destroying your partner's property, then you shouldn't have a pet at all. You need to take responsibility and do what's best for everyone involved, including Jake. At Miley Wrangler. Not the a-hole. It's appalling to see yet another example of a man trying to exert control over a woman and her choices. Jake is displaying toxic masculinity by trying to force you to choose between him and Max. Max is part of your family, and your love and care for him are valid and should be respected. It's also concerning that Jake's anger towards Max escalated to the point where he verbally abused him and demanded that you pay for the damages. It's important to recognize that pets like Max are living beings with their own needs and wants, and it's not fair to punish them for simply being themselves. In situations like these, it's crucial to prioritize the well-being and safety of all parties involved, including Max. You should not have to sacrifice your relationship with your pet to appease a controlling partner. Not the a-hole. First of all, let me just say that anyone who screams epithets at a defenseless animal is definitely the a-hole in this situation. Secondly, it's not fair for Jake to give you an ultimatum like that. It's clear that Max is a beloved member of your family, and it's not fair for Jake to ask you to choose between him and Max. He knew you had a dog before he moved in. He knew what he was getting into. Furthermore, it's hypocritical for Jake to ask you to get rid of Max while refusing to give up his own prized possessions, even if you weren't entirely serious about it. If anything, he should understand the sentimental value that a beloved pet can have. And let's be real, Jake is crowding Max's space with all his vinyl cluttering the place. Dogs chew things up. The record was out and in his space. It was inevitable. It's important for both partners in a relationship to compromise and find a solution that works for everyone involved. It's understandable that Jake might not be a fan of dogs, but he should be willing to work on finding a solution that allows him to coexist with Max. And if he's not willing to do that, then maybe it's time to reconsider the relationship altogether. After all, if Jake can't love and accept all parts of you, including your furry family member, then he might not be the right partner for you. What do you guys think? Is the OP the a-hole or not the a-hole? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more.